I want to start today's video on this chart. It's a huge chart, there's a lot of information here, and this is where I started to really go bearish on the meme stocks, was when I figured out there was a massive triangle with a downward breakout and a confirmed push lower, and I started forecasting for a $7 price target, and people mocked me. They mocked me, and that's totally fine, to each their own, and I didn't delete all of those comments because after all it is good to have a few. Meme stocks. It is possible that these stocks are manipulated. There is a ton of volume through here, right? And over time I've come to realize this volume is actually probably real volume, and it's probably retail traders. While it is illegal to manipulate a stock price, is it illegal to manipulate the traders to trade a stock price? Is that stock manipulation? Well, not really. Not really. You're just creating these propaganda campaigns that create a marketplace for business, and that, after all, is kind of the American way. I don't know how else to say it. There's a book by Edward Bernays, I believe is his name. It's called Propaganda. It's a really good book. You owe yourself to read this book. It's gonna open your eyes a little bit. It's gonna darken your world too. I'm sorry, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of the decisions that we make actually don't come from within us. They're based on information that's provided to us by others. There is some truth to input-output theory and the human brain. You tell someone something enough times, eventually they'll believe it. There's a famous scene where Picard is being interrogated by the Cardassians, right? How many lights do you see? This is great stuff. It's a good discussion to have, because I actually believe that retail traders have been manipulated through the use of media campaigns, and I don't know who's behind that. I don't want to point the finger or create any animosity. This is just my theory. And the reason why I'm calling for a big bounce now, well, a big dump and then a big bounce now, is because every once in a while the casino needs to create some winners. Yeah, I think if we are going to see a big push higher, it's going to be because the retail traders have given up, and that would reduce the marketplace, the money being made in the payment for order flow. Look at Citadel recently posting $16 billion of profit. We know they receive a lot of payment for order flow, and we know that it's the retail traders through their brokers that is happening. In part, again, I can't be too specific. I can only really know so many things, right? What I can look up is that Citadel receives a lot of TD Ameritrade's payment for order flow, at least. And I'm assuming they receive a lot more. And of course, they're wildly profitable. And we see diminishing volume, which I believe is actually retail traders in these meme stocks. And if there's that much money to be maintained there, and a marketplace is being created for that purpose, to make money, then the market will need to be revitalized at some point. And in order to do that, I think what's going to need to happen is another big run up. So yeah, I'm forecasting a dump and a massive rally. Basically, I'm saying the house needs to create some winners to keep people coming to the casino. It's terrible, I know. Let's talk about some other stuff. Moving into a Twitter post shared on Discord. Let's go. We have a speculation that the CFO of AMC might be trying to tell us something. There is, of course, this caveat, or maybe he's just going to Vegas. This is a great way to make a suggestion without making a claim, and it does generate that little bit of rumor and hype feel. These kinds of posts used to flood the internet. I don't know if they do anymore. I'm sure they do, though. I don't look for them, but I used to be really into this sort of stuff. Let's go have a look at the chart and see what the CFO has actually been doing. In red arrows, you're going to see all of the filings, or most of them, important dates. As you can see, there's just a lot of selling going on inside of AMC. Wow, and it's almost like they actually tend to cluster above downtrends, which is interesting in and of itself. But more interesting is how uninteresting the CFO's filings have actually been. And I started at the end of the filing report, which would be, or at the time period, which would be now, and I went back and just dropped yellow arrows for when the CFO was selling or posting his W4s. And it's just like really unmiraculous. It's just as random as all the other activity. So yeah, call that hype, call it distraction, call it rumor, call it whatever you will. I really am tired of seeing these sorts of things, you know? I really am.